Hi everybody, this is Sharon with Life with Sharon, and that swooshing that you might be hearing in the background is the beautiful waterfall here in the park that I love to end my walks and just listen to. I forgot my sandals, so I'm not grounding my feet today, but I want to talk about the word sex and why that seems to be such a societal, controversial word. I was walking around and I was thinking about, like, our creative energy comes from our sexual energy, right? So, but society and just the way of the world and how people live their lives, and depending on what kind of traumas they've experienced throughout their lives, sex is either a good word or a bad word. Yet no matter if it's good or bad, we all engage in some form of sexual activity, whether it's in the mind, whether it's in something we're creating, whether it's actually having sexual relationships out in the world with other people, whether it's self-sexualizing, like through masturbation or whatever. But it dawned on me that so many of us are walking around in the low shadow side of sexual energy, where it's taboo, it's not easily talked about, we don't express to our partners, which is the most important person to express your sexual desires, your sexual fetishes, right? But yet we don't, and we stop ourselves and we worry about fear of judgment, or maybe we're gonna look perverse or like a heathen or grotesque or whatever it may be. We stop, or at the very least we slow down our own sexual energy. I think this is so relevant in all age groups now. It used to be people in their teens and 20s, maybe even their early 30s, they were just driven by sexual hormones and they didn't think one way or the other about it, so they didn't really talk about it, they just kind of acted on it, but still in that lower shadow sexual energy, right? And then as you got older into your later 30s and 40s and beyond, most people were starting to express, hey, I am interested in trying this, or I want to do that, or they started coming into more into tune, more in touch with their sexual energy, their sexual desires, their sexual interests, and expressing them. But nowadays, I'm noticing that sex is over-sexualized in a lot of negative ways, and or hidden and suppressed, which causes a whole bunch of other problems and issues. And people who are married, or they're coupled up, or they're in these long relationships, they're no longer talking, or they never talked in the first place about their sexual desires or whatever, and so they're finding other ways to express it. Even if they're trying not to find other ways to express it, we are humans. Well, we're souls in a human body, right? So we will express one way or the other. So the reason why I wanted to bring up this topic is because I want people out there to know that when sex is not a bad word, it's not a bad word. And if it gives you the ick, like it gave me for a long time, it's, you need to look at yourself, probably get some professional help. I had to do that, so that I could really look at it, because I would get the ick from it. And that's because of my sexual traumas in the past led me down paths and roads where I ended up using my body in relationships more as a tool instead of what it was actually meant to be used for, which is, sexual creation, sexual pleasure, that connectedness with a person that you want to share that part of your life with at that time in your life. And so if it's not used appropriately, it's going to create a lot of internal internal conflict, which is obviously going to create a lot of external conflicts, right? So anyways, I used to deny it, suppress it, shove it away, not want to talk about it, not want to think about it. However, I would overshare and joke about it with friends. For some reason, that was my safe space, was to just kind of like let it all out with my friends, but not so much in my personal, my romantic relationships. It was a lot harder. It was a bigger struggle. And I'm here to tell you, well, I'm single still, so we'll see what happens next time I'm in a relationship. But I am here to tell you on a healthier part of, that cycle, if you can get away from the low energy, the low sexual energy, and move into a healing, beautiful, higher frequency of sexual energy, that's where your creativity is going to be sparked, right? So you're going to be successful in whatever success means to you. You'll be wealthy in which way wealthy means for you. You're going to be happy. You're going to be more abundant in whatever way that is for you, because we're all so different. So it means completely different things to every single one of us. I love that I have turned that sexual energy into creativity. That's where, my blog blossomed from that. My YouTube channel is starting to blossom from that. I'm becoming more creative on what I'm putting out there for content. It's coming straight from inside of me without any fear of barriers or judgments. So that's what I'm doing with it. I'm not out there sleeping with people or any of that stuff, because that is low frequency. And I'm not saying that that's bad. If that's what you want to do and that actually makes you happy, then you know what? Screw the world and do your thing, But if it's not making you happy and you're feeling the ick from it, then there's something inside yourself that has been wounded. And that sexual wound, I really hope you're able to come to terms with it and fix it. And if you can't, then fix it professionally with somebody, because once you can, it's like magic. It kind of like opens up the door and you're seeing life through a different lens. And that, my friends, is fabulous, right? I mean, what more could you want than to just be healthy, happy, and expressive? Just very expressive. Anyways, that is my candid video of the day for you. I hope you're all having a beautiful weekend and stay safe. God bless.